smoked Cuban pork roast on the pit barrel cooker. I'm gonna show you how to make it. What's going on, guys? Jax the Bearded Hiker here. So we're gonna be making up this Cuban pork roast today, now in the pit barrel cooker. Now normally this Cuban pork roast is roasted in the oven. I got this particular recipe from Frugal Hausfrau. I will leave a link in the description. Go to her website, check it out. She's got a lot of great recipes. So if you're seeing this video, that means this pork roast turned out awesome. So let's get busy. Okay guys, so the first thing we got to do here is mix us up a marinade, and we're going to marinate this pork butt overnight, and it's about a 6-pound pork butt. But anyway, here's the list of ingredients you're going to need. Peppercorns, 1 teaspoon. You're going to need a whole head of garlic, peeled and smashed. You're going to need 2 teaspoons of salt. You're going to need the zest of 1 orange, 1 whole onion, 1 teaspoon of oregano. This is fresh oregano. If you don't have fresh, you definitely use the dried stuff. And lastly, you're going to need about 1.5 cups of this Badia sour orange flavoring. I'm sure you could just use regular orange juice would be fine. Okay, so we're going to mix all this up in our mixer here. Let's do it. Alright guys, so the first thing you're going to do is, before you do anything, is go ahead and throw your peppercorns in there and then blend those up. Just break them up a little bit. And I'm going to spare doing that because it's going to irritating sound. But we'll do that and I'll show you what it looks like when we get done. Alright, so I just pounded them up just a little bit. You can see there's still some whole chunks in there, but it'll smooth out in a minute. Alright, we're going to go ahead and throw in our 2 teaspoons of salt. We're going to add in our garlic. We add in our oregano now. Then in goes our onion. Okay, for now, go ahead and put it on the lid on after you've done that. And pulse it up. Alright guys, now that we got that in, we're going to go ahead and turn this on. And we're going to slowly add in the orange juice. And we're just going to go ahead and transfer that to something a little bit bigger. You can see it's still kind of chunky. That's what we want. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and add in 1/2 cup of olive oil to this. In goes our lemon zest, our orange zest, sorry about that, and then we're going to stir this about, or whisk it. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is, before we put our roast in this, is we're going to take 1/2 cup of this marinade out and reserve it separately from the roast. So we've just lined this marinade dish, is what we're going to use to marinate, with some saran wrap. Hopefully it'll contain all this marinade, but right now I'm just going to fork it, you know, just to open up some holes in here so that marinade maybe will penetrate. I don't know if this is really going to make a difference or not, but we're going to try it. Alright, so I've pierced it everywhere. Now we're going to take this marinade and I'm just going to kind of pour it over the top. Hopefully I won't make too much of a mess. So now we're just going to wrap this up and put it in the refrigerator overnight. Smoking outside when it's 85 degrees and 93% humidity? I'm down. Alright guys, welcome to the smoke show. So that pork butt has been marinating for, I don't know, less than 24 hours now. It's probably been more like 14 hours. But that's alright. We are going to skewer that bad boy up. We're going to stick it on the pit barrel cooker and we're going to get to smoking. So we got our smoker going there. We got our Mojo pork. Let's go ahead and unwrap it. We've been letting it kind of come to room temperature. And let's just get dirty here. Alright, so you'll notice in this Boston butt here, you have a bone right here. So what I'm going to do is take my first, let's flip it around like this. I'm going to take my first hook that comes with your pit barrel cooker and I'm going to run it right up along that bone, just like that on that side. And then I'm going to just go in the end here, just like that. Let's get it down in there. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, now we're going to just go hang it on the pit barrel cooker. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down a piece of chunk of wood here. Just put that on top. So I'm just going to hang this right here, just like that. And Probably could have put those in there. So now we're hanging right there. The reason why I have this hinge grate in there is because we're going to be doing some chicken wings too. Alright, so I'm going to put this lid on it. I'm going to go wash my hands, and we're going to let this smoke for, I don't know, it might take 2 hours. We're going to let it go at least an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Then I'm going to probe it. We're looking for about 160, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so it's been like 2 hours, and I've just taken the whole rod here. And what we're going to do now is remove these hooks. Alright, you can see we got a nice color going on right here. So next step here is we're going to take a little bit of our marinade that we have left over, and we're going to go ahead and pour that over the top. I'm just going to take, not enough liquid in there, so I'm just going to take a little bit of beer. You could use water. Just add it in the bottom of here. Now we may check this in about an hour or so, and we may add some more liquid to the bottom. We just don't want it to stick. Next step, we're just going to foil it. Alright, now that we got it full, we're going to stick it back in the smoker, and we're just going to keep cooking it, and we're probably going to just keep cooking this until the internal temperature of this reaches about 190, I don't know, anywhere between 190 and 200. Alright guys, so we're at about 190 degrees, and as you can see, it's unfoiled now. I'm just kind of finishing it off in here. It's probably going to end up getting to about, I don't know, maybe 200 degrees. And then I'm going to take some of this juice, and we're going to cook it down a little bit with an onion. And I'll show you what that looks like. But man, that is, look at that. Okay, so while we're letting that pork butt finish off, I've added an onion, and I've put our leftover marinade in here, and I'm just going to cook this down. And then towards the end, when our pork butt is done, I'm going to add the juices and whatnot into this, and this is going to be our, I don't know, I'll use this term loosely, but our barbecue sauce or sauce, whatever you want to call it. Alright, we've been letting this go for a little bit, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these drippings over here. Just go ahead and add them into our little stuff that we got going on there. And then I'm going to reduce this down to make like a thick glaze or gravy or whatever you want to call it. Now what we're going to do with this is we're just going to cover it and let it rest. Alright, so we've let this cool down. We're going to, yeah, I'm going to just pull, whoa, look at that. Bone just came right out of there. So I'm planning on shredding this, but for the sake of this video, let's just, wow, look at that. Pull some of this here. We're just going to pull it off and try it. Freak, that looks good, doesn't it? Look at that. Straight up tender. Alright. I know I'm finger raping it. Alright, so we've cooked down some of this sauce right here. That's what we showed you earlier. We're just going to use that as our little barbecue sauce or whatever. Alright. And honestly, guys, straight up, I have not tasted this yet, so you're going to get my reaction straight up right now. Alright, here we go. You ready? You ready for me to smash my face into this? Can I get close up to the camera? Hold on, we'll be right back with you. Cuban mojo or Cuban pork butt is legit. I would call this a winner. It tastes, I mean, it tastes like a pork butt. I mean, it's delicious. It's got a little bit of a different flavor than normal what I would cook, but it's freaking phenomenal. Love it. Cuban pork butt. Do it. We're all stars now in the smoke show. Sorry, channeling Marilyn Manson there.